pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll begin the meeting with a moment of silence. This meeting is being recorded and televised by the local cable company. I'd like a motion to approve bill and payroll warrants.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
A motion to accept correspondence in the read file.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Public forum. Now's the time for anybody to speak who wants to talk about something that's not on the agenda. Approval of meeting minutes, open session September 16th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. And December 2nd, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Abstention. And now it's time for a public hearing with respect to the application of Marcello's Enterprises Incorporated, doing business as Marcello's, for a change of ownership interest and a change of stock interest. Petition also includes approval of a change of officers, directors, LLC managers, and a change of manager.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Boucher, right up there where we can hear your voice echo through the edges.
podium.
Well, usually loud enough you didn't need one, but we'll...
We'll leave that one alone.
You're thinking of the other guy.
Do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, nothing whatsoever.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
No? Place great.
All those in favor of the changes? Aye.
Aye. That's simple. Amen.
You're done.
Easy
Such a
peasy.
relief. Thank you.
Good luck.
Aye. Good luck. Good guy.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the town administrator's report.
Thank you. Two quick things. As you know from previous announcement, the administrative assistant at the police station retired, and we promoted Tracy to her position last week. The chief deputy and I conducted interviews and have found a candidate that really fits our criteria, and I would ask the board to authorize hiring Melissa Madden as a part-time records clerk for the police department. Background check has been complete and exemplary.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion, any questions? No? Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye. Go, Chief.
I'd also like to announce that the town has received, after 2 years of work on the DPW's part, a grant for $363,674 to redesign and lay out the intersection of Essex and Park. That has been a challenging intersection over the years because of the way it merges. So they've already begun the process on that. And the town last Thursday took possession of a foreclosure on Lazel Street. We've secured the building and we will begin the process for auctioning it.
Anyone have any questions of Frank?
Yeah, Frank, on that redoing of the street, you need Old Colony JTC to look at that intersection for any
I think
possible
all that
ideas?
work was done in advance.
Huh?
All that work was done when the request was
Right.
submitted 2
I
years
didn't know if you
ago.
needed further work from them.
I don't know,
put
but
in
I
a-
think DPW is comfortable with reaching out to JTC.
Okay, all right.
Was this the Complete Streets grant?
Yes.
Okay.
Not the big one we wanted, but
No.
this will do.
Okay, budget review, Frank?
We proceed next week. This finance committee will be coming to meet with us.
7 o'clock next
next
Next Tuesday
Tuesday. And I think Randy can pretty much cover the results of longstanding override assessment.
Last night, the Budget Override Evaluation Committee met for slightly over 3 hours.
I know it.
We had quite a bit of discussion that I think probably will be best served just giving one presentation next week at a joint meeting. What I will say, it's a very complex budget. A lot of questions still up in the air, issues still in flux with the school, but what has been determined that, in short, I will say that with the adoption of some policies that the consultant has recommended, it was the determination of the board last evening that we will not seek an override for fiscal year '21. More than likely for fiscal year '22, an override, even with adoption of more stringent policies and reworking some things, may still be on the table. But we feel comfortable that departments will be sustainable. Some may actually see growth, and we will have money to fund a very solid part of the Collins report for capital projects and assessments. So that's the good news, is that as of right now, assuming these policies pass our board in the FinCom, we would be able to avoid a override for fiscal year '21.
Great. Does anyone have any questions of Randy?
Yeah, Randy, I have a question. Are we, in this year's budget, are we going to have a number to look at the DPW as far as what needs to get done there? You know, just
That actually, so last night I had a guideline to help us get us through the meeting in the most efficient manner.
3 hours.
Believe it or
I
not,
watched it.
Believe it or not, it was a lot to cover, and I do want to thank. Let me say, I want to thank Fire Chief Greno, Tim Greno, Justin, Chris George, citizen at large, Ms. Dawn Byers, who sits on the school committee, our school superintendent, Jeff Simonak, Bruce Martin, superintendent of the DPW, Scott Lambiase, Dave Cudero, John Galvin, all members of the finance committee. I think that covers everyone. They have devoted quite a bit of time over the last couple months, really putting in-depth looks at things, and a lot of discussion, a lot of work, and I want to thank them. So getting back to your question, Dan, two of the main projects that I kind of focused on last night were the middle school projects, which we'll discuss next week, and the DPW. It proved to be a priority, and the Budget Override Evaluation Committee is definitely recommending some type of article be placed on the May warrant for a feasibility reevaluation needs study.
Okay, good. Good. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I just want to thank the committee. You guys did great work in a short amount of time.
3-hour meeting? That's
Well,
not short.
I mean overall, not that specific evening, but
I'm only busting them on you, Randy.
you did a ton of work, and it brought to light a lot of information for everybody that we otherwise might not have had. And it's very important that we have that, and I want to thank you and your committee for doing that kind of tough job.
And if I do appreciate that, Brian, thank you. And then one other piece, which will be discussed next week, is really the only other missing piece of this puzzle, and that is the strategic plan. And we'll get into that, but that was another, myself and the town administrator talked that over, and with the work that we have from the town survey, the consultant budget work, various other committees and discussions, that's our missing piece of this puzzle to see where we go 3 to 5 years down the road, and really how we're going to get there.
You've done the groundwork for being able to come up with something in writing, I think. I think that the strategic plan is impossible without the work that your committee has done and the survey has done, so that's where we go next. And you're actually writing it as we go along.
Right, 80% of it is there, and
Right. Right.
we will have, if a request for funds is asked for, I think we're going to be able to provide as much backup as we can to support that.
Good.
Yeah, pro or con on that.
Right.
Yeah. Good, excellent.
Right, and I'll, Randy thanked the committee, but we also have to thank, we do have to thank Randy. It was a huge task to take to lead this group in the most important work that this board has done for a while. And Randy did a terrific job. And as you sail off into the sunset, as an ex override evaluation committee chair.
Actually, he's moving into the strategic planning committee now.
Oh, I like the idea of that.
We'll have to think about that. We can talk about that next week.
They taught you how to write at Cardinal Spellman.
We got to go every 5 years, so I mean, you got to continue the ball rolling.
No, this is it did a great job, Randy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Policies and procedures, we're going to pass over network password policy until the 28th, Frank, is that what you
Of
asked?
course, I want to integrate it to the existing policy.
Okay. And next is the gift funds policy.
Well, this has been floating around for a while. You will note, or perhaps noted in your mail, that the DOR coincidentally came out with an updated guide for gift funds, so it is a hot topic right now. Nothing in that guide is contrary to what's been presented in the recommended policy. We simply tie it down to what our town issues are.
You looking for a vote on this policy?
Man,
Okay, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Or a second?
Second.
Are there questions?
No, we've kicked this around for a couple of weeks now, a couple of months now.
It's been a while.
I think it's
Yeah.
and it was constructed with the assistance of council.
If there are no hearing.
One other thing, have you got a back feel from department heads and?
Yeah, I haven't had any real questions or challenge to it. I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, beautiful.
It just helps to define how those funds are used and not only received but distributed.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, seeing no further questions or discussion, all those in favor of the policy?
Aye.
New business. Act on the resignation of Oliver Amato from the position of member of the Whitman Cultural Council effective December 15th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Act on the resignation of Oliver Amato from the position of Recreation Director effective January 9th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Act on the resignation of Michael Brady Jr. from the position of Reserve Intermittent Police Officer effective December 18th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Act on the request of the Board of Health for permission to use the animal shelter Essex Street for a rabies clinic for dogs and cats on Saturday, April 25th, 2020 from 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Act on request for toll booth fundraisers submitted by the following. American Legion Post 22, April 18th, 2020, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., rain date April 25th. Whitman Baseball Softball Association, May 2nd, 2020, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., rain date to be determined. Whitman Area Toy Drive, September 5th, 2020, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., rain date to be determined. Knights of Columbus, October 10th, 2020, 9 to 1, rain date to be determined.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Act on the request of the Whitman-Hanson Regional High School chapter of Best Buddies to hold the Best Buddies 5K road race and 1 mile fun run walk on May 9th, 2020 at 10 a.m. in accordance with the route outlined in a letter dated December 16th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
act on the request of Charlene Conway for a special amusement live entertainment license on the premises located at 1055 Auburn Street, Carousel Family Fun Center, on Saturday, February 8th, 2020, and Saturday, May 2nd, 2020, from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. for private, adult-only roller skating events.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Sounds
All those in favor?
Sounds interesting.
Okay, now we need to move into executive session. In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A, Exclusion 1, to discuss the reputation, character, physical condition, or mental health, rather than professional competence of an individual, or to discuss the discipline or dismissal of, or complaints or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual. 2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. And 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares.
So moved?
Second. Yes.
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 Okay, we're in executive session. We'll come back into open session only to adjourn.